Alright, so first off, making this video, I just want to say I'm not doing this to change your mind or to influence your opinion at all. You have your own lived personal experience. I'm not trying to infringe on that. I'm just trying to give my shout into the void, into the wind, whatever you want to call it, because frankly, this whole situation is just insane in my eyes, and I just want to see the good in people and the internet, and we just live in such a polarizing time. But just as a quick introduction, my name is Elder. I'm redacted it with the trident just because doxing yourself in the digital footprint is real. This is probably going to come back to haunt me, I guess, but like, I just want to be a good person. Is that so hard where anything anyone ever says is taken immediately? A man gets shot 30 minutes from my house and becomes a globally internet meme. It doesn't matter the quality of the character. That's just insane, the world that we're living in. But yes, I am currently a service missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I live in Utah. I have lived in Utah for my whole life. I have been to other places. I know people. That doesn't matter. I'm giving this as a Utahn who is literally called as a service missionary and was a proselyting missionary and literally works within the church bureaucratic department. Sorry, works for the church in the HR department as part of the bureaucracy. That's the first thing I want to say. The church as an organization, yes, is a corporation and a bureaucracy. How else are you supposed to manage an organization across the entire globe over hundreds of different countries and thousands of different people? That's the first thing that I think most people get wrong. Duh, yes, the church operates on money. Everything operates on money. The Vatican also operates on money. Your local Christian um, church probably also operates on money. This hasn't bothered me. This never has. Money is kind of just a worldly object, and I really don't care about it. Um, but yeah, I don't really blatantly see corruption. I literally hire people for the church, and it's funny to see polarizing opinions on both sides about what the church should be doing, what they should be doing. But first and foremost, I believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, not of man. Um, I believe in the restored gospel through Joseph Smith. I don't worship Joseph Smith. I believe the Book of Mormon is a sacred and holy text. Should probably try reading it. Sorry, missionary brain. But I wanted to talk about bricks and minifigs. This is coming from personal experience because my family had worked with bricks and minifigs in the past. We own a small D&D company. We'll put it that way. That's probably even giving away too much information. I don't even know. The freak. This is my experience. Shut up. Regarding this, bricks and minifigs approached us a year or two ago, I believe, and basically wanted to do a merger with us, in which it would convert basically all of our shares into their shares, give them the option to have an entire corporate buyout within 36 months, and criminally undervalue us and basically just bribe us into them buying our company. Seemed like nice people at first, but the more we got talking to them, the more they just seemed like corporate loan sharks and really just not the great people you want to actually run a community or people who are nice. They had a couple previous companies you might want to look into that failed and were just basically legal scams. In my opinion, this is all alleged. Don't this is just my own personal opinion from what I saw and what I have heard. I have had experience with personal face-to-face interactions with Ammon and the other members of Bricks and Minifigs and the management team. Basically, they're not great people. Something I want to address is just all the comments I've seen from Moist Critical, from Reckless Ben, from all of the legal sites, Legal Eagle, the news. It's like, I don't believe that I'm in a cult as much as anyone can say. Maybe I've been like raised since my birth to believe that, but frankly, I've had free choice and opinion. I've seen people in my life choose to leave. They're fine. They don't even really get that much hate for it. Heck if I know. I don't have someone who tells me how I should live my life, what I should do every day. I follow my own personal guidance from the Holy Spirit, from prayer and scripture study. That if that's a cult, then literally anything that gives people hope or that is real and spiritually. Secondly, that's the other point of this argument, is that entirely on both sides of this argument, it's not logic based, even though the logos of an argument would make the most sense, especially in the case of bricks and minifigs, where it's basically down to legal battle, which is logic against logic. However, the church and the cult and the emotional opinions are not logic. You can have an emotional opinion and an emotional lived experience. I can have spiritual experiences. I can have miracles. I can have literal just confirmation that I know that this is true and that there is a God. That doesn't change. So again, I'm not trying to convince anything. But this whole thing that we're just a cult protecting people, the freak, like, who does that? The thing is, most organizations in the world are incredibly incompetent, even at the higher levels. Like, just look at how the Epstein cases has been treated. Like, there's pretty much like everything out there. The only thing that's really stopping anything is just the fact that the people in power can't be touched. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's no information or that they covered it up. Well, they're just able to cover it up because they have the U.S. military on their side. Side tangent, that's alleged. Don't tell anyone. Um, yeah, but the fact that the whole church in Utah is willing to cover up one of their own. First off, the freaking guy just like yelling at police officers, being paranoid, swearing, yelling. He's like not a member. Ammon is probably, but like so many other people in the Bricks and Minifigs organization are not. So many people in the American Forest Police Department are not. The literal percentage of LDS members in Utah is, I think, approximately 50-60% of self-reported active members. So it's maybe even less than that. But regardless, I know so many people. Again, I work for the church. I see the internal workings of the church. Everyone I talk to is like, yeah, this is just a clear violation of justice and criminal behavior. You are supposed to follow the laws, A, being part of a society, and B, being as elect member of the church, because that's what you're meant to do. You don't just protect people because they worship the same God as you. Then you get something like what, you know what, I'm just throwing stones. That doesn't mean anything. But yeah, I don't even need to edit this. But yeah, there's no like protection. I find this corrupt and baffling, and these are just horrible people. I do not care that they're a member of the church. If they're violating laws, if they're corrupt, I think that that should be stopped. I believe corruption is bad wherever it is, in the government, in this local corporation, in the church itself, which I know that there is corruption. That doesn't necessarily, you get corruption everywhere. It's just not like protected. It's literally a worldly organization built by just people, regardless of there being an eternal truth and of a gospel that is defining for everyone. That's fine. It's still run by people. That, which is the main thing. That the cult is just people, even if you want to call it a cult. Anyways, I'm just a nice person. I reached out to Reckless Ben to see if I could help at all. From my personal experience, think I would side with him. He just seems a little naive, which is fine. The legal system is definitely being abused by a lot of things. I don't personally know anyone in the American Force Police Department, but I have relatives in other police departments around Utah. They're pretty upstanding. I don't understand why they would be doing this level of corruption, unless there really is just a huge conspiracy pulling the strings, in which case, yeah, that's blatant corruption. Frankly, I don't know what to say. Just like be nicer to people, because whenever you go online, if you don't get your opinion out there immediately in the first one, and then that's what you dissuade other people for, if you just make people feel like really bad, it's really easy to tear someone down and to build them up and just be like genuinely positive and nice online. You can't really do that, which I don't like. I just wish that we could be nicer and live in a nicer world. But you know what? I'm a minority. The church itself is a minority. Like, Utah is the only place where there's even possibly a majority, and even then, like, so many of the legal and social constructs here are not part of the church, which is just something I don't think people get. It's not like a Mormon utopia. It's just like a normal state, except you'll see like your neighbors at church sometime. I go to church. In essence, it's not a cult. It's just people. I don't even think it's people protecting people. I think it's just corruption. Yeah, I don't know if any of this has made sense. I just wanted to get this off my chest because, frankly, I hate saying things online. It's just like, man, I just work here. I believe in this. I know that there's a God, and I know that there is a life after death. Yeah, that's my personal lived experience. If you want to dissuade it with your own, feel free to comment below. I don't care. Just be positive and honest, and they'll just like yell at me, be like, oh, I'm an idiot, or I can't have like formative thoughts, or I was dropped in my head as a child. I don't think I was, by the way. But maybe that was brainwashed out of me by the social construct of the LDS Church. Anyways, I hope all of you have a great day. I'm also looking forward to see where this drama happens. If I could, I would get the legal papers and go serve myself as a missionary with the full tag on. That's my stance on this. This is I'm not trying to allege any crime or anything. I just want justice to be done, and I wish there wasn't corruption. I wish people were nice, and the church is, as much of a cult as any group of people is, which is not a cult. That's just a word people use to tear things down. Hope you have a great rest of your day.